This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hey Aussie Mac Zoners, welcome to show number 102, our end of financial year special show. And joining me as always, I think it's always, isn't it, Michael? I think you're the probably the stalwart who's here every show. How are you?
Mate, I'm here and enjoying it. Bit brisk in Sydney today, but other than that, it was pretty good. And yourself?
Rather fresh here in Adelaide as well, but going well and managing touch wood at the moment to avoid most of the winter flus and colds that seem to be going around at the moment.
Yes, I had that for a little while the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't very nice. But anyway, it's my back that's playing up in the cold at the moment.
That was always there. And I guess it would be remiss of us not to mention athwebhosting.com.au, our kind show sponsors. So affordable servers in Sydney, in Australia. What more could you want? 99.9%, 5% uptime, and from just $5.95 per month when paid annually. What more would you want on there? WordPress, Joomla, cPanel to manage. I don't know, Michael. What could you possibly ask for?
As long as it stays up, that's my belief anyway. At 99.95, yeah, that's important.
Yeah, well, now how does that come in with the leap second we've got happening tomorrow?
Yeah, so we've got this 1 second leap second. So I don't know what happens. Does it make it more reliable?
Oh, that's right. So look tomorrow, guys, and we might have 99.96% uptime just for tomorrow, maybe. Yeah. And I think last time we had the leap second, we had some websites crash. I think Qantas, LinkedIn, and a few others did. So look for that tomorrow, I guess. At least with Qantas, I'd rather it be the website than a plane, I guess.
Absolutely, yes.
So, yes, coming to a NTP server near you tomorrow, a leap second.
Well, at least everyone will be refreshed, getting that extra second sleep to wake up and get the early upgrade so they can get the music happening.
Absolutely. And yes, I think that's we're probably a little bit light on Apple News at the moment, but that is the big news, and it really is happening for us here in Australia tomorrow when iOS 8.4 comes out and we finally get Apple Music.
Yeah, that's about 1 a.m. Eastern time, I believe. And then Beats go live at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. So
they'll have their live DJs ready. So will it be out of the New York, LA, or London studios?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I was also wondering what's the first track.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. So, yes, I will expect sometimes you sit there and refresh your software update on your iPhone, you'll see 8.4 click up, and you'll need to download that. And that updates the music app, doesn't it? Which will give you access to Apple Music. And I guess as we have seen over the last week or so, with evolving a little bit between Taylor Swift and Eddie Q, there's 3 months of free music to Apple customers, but the musicians will get paid.
Yeah, everybody's getting paid. That Merlin, is it, the group in England? They represent a lot of bands around the world. So, like a lot of the indie bands.
Oh, yes.
So that's lots and lots. And they also reckon it's going to go from 25,000 tracks to 100,000 tracks pretty rapidly for what'll be available. So.
Oh, that's good. So I guess pretty much it's coming the day, isn't it, where we've gone from CD in physical format to electronic format to maybe not buying anything at all. It's just there. You grab it, grab what you want when you want.
Yeah, and I saw Sonos are going to incorporate it at the end of the year. at one of their software updates. So they're obviously getting on board.
Oh, okay, because I gather they've got stuff like Pandora and Spotify and I guess all the other common services in their software at the moment. So that would make sense. So yes, we will be eagerly awaiting that, and I guess seeing what all the fuss is about.
And all the fuss actually came because we had something released 8 years ago, being the iPhone.
Yes, and I actually saw a picture today that Renee Ritchie from iMore tweeted. Had the iPhones all stacked up on top of each other. He's obviously collected them all. So yes, that's a fair progression, isn't it, from what the very first iPhone was, with it being thick and a tiny screen now on non-retina, through to what we have today, especially, I guess, if you compare an iPhone 6 Plus with the original iPhone, a fair bit's changed in 8 years.
Yeah, where would we be without it?
Apple be without it?
That's a good question, yeah. It's a pretty big part of the income, isn't it?
It's the dominant part of income now, isn't it? It certainly isn't the Mac, and yes, it's 8 years old, and I think getting stronger every year, almost, just in numbers sold, and as it expands into extra markets. And I think you put in the show notes here, Michael, in your research, that Apple's reportedly begun production on the 6S already, and we expect to see Force Touch display. That would be, after having that on the watch, I think that's probably a fair bet. And gee, there's, on the size of the iPhone, there's some pretty exciting things you could do with that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and some analysis have said it'll sell even more than the iPhone 6, and that was, like, that sold so many we can't keep up with it. Yeah, it's just, and there's some new fingerprint technology coming too. Apple bought 35 patents off a fingerprint type technology company, so they were incorporating that as well. So the security is going to be up there.
So it's all looking good. And when do we normally see that? Around September, isn't it? That we would expect to see a iPhone, not so much iPod event anymore. iPad event. We'll see maybe see our iPad Pro with Force Touch as well.
Well, that could be.
And just still waiting for the Apple TV. Still sore about that.
It'll come. All good things come to those who wait.
Exactly right. And OS 10, El Capitan, that's obviously on its way too.
Yes.
What are we looking to see in that now that it's sort of, I guess, been out for developers and beta users to have a play around with? What are we hearing about that?
Yeah, so we've got El Capitan has some improvements worth noting. The famous rainbow wheel pointer, or beach ball, which spins when a program is loading. It's going to be more brighter, so you can get less frustrated because it's easy to see going round and round.
Is that really a positive? That's not really something you want to be seeing, is it?
At least you're going to be seeing it. It's going to have more defined colours, so I don't know how to have more defined colours.
I thought, Johnny, I would have turned it white and made it flatter. Less colours.
Less colours, you think. Yeah, and the cursors will be easy to find when you wake up from sleep. And having had a couple of goes at that lately, it's important when you've got multiple screens happening. And
yes, to find your cursor. Yeah, this is the waggle, isn't it, that it will now show up.
Yeah, and especially because I'm trying this Boinks TV software out, and it's got very grey and dark backgrounds. So if your mouse is actually there somewhere, it takes you a little while to find it.
It hides away.
Yeah. Gets me going. And then also there'll be a revamped disk utility window, but because I've been using it a bit lately, there'll be a dedicated Find My Friends widget for the notification center. So it'll just be easier to find who you're looking for. The idea is not to have to get up and go away anywhere. So
it all feeds and notifications. Makes sense. Anything new in this utility in terms of features or functions, or it's just more of a user interface revamp?
Yeah, I think it, from what I can see, it's just a user interface revamp, because it's only like a front end for terminal functions anyway.
Sure, yeah.
So I think it's just making it a bit easier for people to understand.
A bit more user friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess it's really the snow leopard of updates, isn't it? Which isn't a bad thing to double down on performance and reliability
and security.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's the number one mantra at Apple at the moment. And I think after the last couple of operating system updates, it's probably time for Apple to take a breath and just get things bedded down. So that certainly isn't a bad direction to go in. So we'll look forward to seeing that. When's that hitting our Macs?
Probably a week before the iPhone was released, I would think.
Yeah, it's all in seasons, isn't it? So it's what's that be, fall, will it?
Yeah,
so our
September.
Yeah, so yeah.
I hope, yeah.
All around the same time.
I'm looking forward to the Mac upgrade as well as the iOS upgrade. And
so iOS 9, so you've had a look at that one as well?
Yeah, and the one that's getting most of the press, I think, is the battery improvements. You're going to get another hour. So when you get that 20% screen, you can go in and put it on low power mode, and you'll get another hour. But if you knew you were you wanted to restrict what you were doing, you could go in earlier and turn low power mode on, so you'll get a lot more. That 20% won't come up for a long time. It just means it doesn't check your mail every 5 minutes. It checks it every half hour or so, and all those little things all add up to save you power.
Yeah, well, as you say, you may, if it suits you, want to leave that on all the time. If you don't care around, I guess the CPU clocking down a little bit, things taking a tiny bit longer, checking email a little bit less, screen maybe being a little bit duller, that still might work for you. Now, Apple already have got the best battery life out there, bar none, just given they control the whole ecosystem. That's probably pretty understandable why. On a device such as the 6 Plus, this is going to be pretty amazing, isn't it? On a smartphone today that does so much, that you're going to get out to some fairly decent times.
Yeah, well, I honestly haven't really had a battery issue unless I've had the maps going a lot. The GPS.
Yeah, navigation.
Directions.
GPS canes it. Then a lot of times, if I'm using that, it will be in the car.
In the car, plugged in. Yeah.
Actually, one good thing where I've used, we got a GPS in one car and not in the other. So when I've like an inbuilt one where I've used it in the other car with a watch now, that's just really cool.
It is.
That you get the get your watch buzzing up to the to the turn off. But actually, I reckon the display on the watch is better than what shows up on the on the iPhone anyway. That it's because I've got limited screen real estate to work with. They've obviously thought about it a lot, and it's just clear, concise, exactly what you want. Not all this wanky stuff with trying to do semi 3D graphics and whatever, which probably wastes a lot of battery as well, and displaying that stuff and rendering it up on the screen. So really like that. On the watch, and well, gee, that's the other thing, isn't it? We have got Watch OS 2 to come, and I think that's really. We've only, I feel, just got a taste of the watch at the moment. It's just very basic. The real watch and what it can start to do, we're not going to see until we get Watch OS 2. And to me, that's almost going to be like getting a new watch without having to buy the hardware.
Yes, yeah, that's one of the points they brought up during the week on one of the podcasts. Is that means that we only paid half as much, like $250 for the first one, and $250 for the second one, so we're miles in front, aren't we?
Yeah. We're talking about that. I was having a little bit of a look on the Apple website during the week now that I guess some of the supply issues have freed up, and not to buy another watch, but having a look at the bands and what's available. And I did have my eye on the midnight blue leather one, which I thought would go very nice with the stainless steel, but it is $379. Like, I may well be investing essentially similar money in a band to dress up the watch somewhat.
Have a look on Amazon.
Yeah, actually, the other thing was
bands on Amazon now.
Yes, I did sign up at the time for the what is it, reserve strap that the other guys that worked out that you can charge your watch through the little was it maintenance port, and they've got a prototype watch band that's battery, I guess a battery pack. So I got an email from them during the week saying you can now order, though shipping's not till November. So I haven't signed up for it, and maybe once bitten, twice shy on sort of Kickstarter sort of stuff. It's sort of, is it actually going to see the light of day? And it is $300 odd US, I guess. I just might wait for that one or something similar to come through. But that could be of interest as well. It actually looks quite nice. Might want to see that one because I imagine it's probably got a little bit of weight to it, sort of being a battery pack.
Yeah.
But look, that might be something to look at. That being said, I don't really have any problems with the battery life on the watch, as long as you accept that you're going to have to charge it each night. It's not running out during the day.
It's not running out. That's right. Yeah.
But maybe it will with WatchOS, WatchOS 2 doing more. So I guess it's good to know that option may well be there. And really, that's not going to be carrying any more or, materially no more bulk around, as compared to, say, a Mophie juice pack where you got battery that you're then, chunking around your phone, so it's making it thicker, bigger type of thing.
Yeah.
You have to have a band for your watch. It doesn't just levitate on your wrist. So, I think it may be a reasonable option if you're, suddenly need more power, or if it can maybe sustain the watch for, a few days, or even potentially then if some, I don't know, functionality comes out to do stuff with sleep. So you might want to sleep with it sometimes to measure sleep patterns or whatever.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's where it would be an advantage.
It's good to have options.
Yeah.
Now you've been trolling around on the internet. Is that right?
I have.
So what have you found that you've got circled here in the show notes? Under a bit of a
so I found a site that said news publisher portal -iCloud. So it was at https://www.icloud.com/news publisher. So it can only have been set up by Apple. And now when I click to it in Safari, it gives me a, like a page not there type page.
Yep.
But when I click to it in Google, it gives me a proper login screen for iCloud, and takes me. But the hassle is then it only just takes me to my page. It doesn't actually take me to a news publisher page where I can start putting our news up on what is effectively going to be Apple's. Sorry, I've just forgotten the name of the program. I use it every day, and I've just forgotten the name of it. I'm just going to look that up.
So this is around the service they announced at WWDC that partners and people can use.
Flipboard equivalent.
Yeah. Yes. So you reckon this is going to be this? So maybe this is cache content that Apple have been testing something out there, that this is going to be the way that if you wanted to be a news publisher, you would go in and provide updates.
Yeah. I think that's what it's for specifically, yeah. And then that would probably go to the people that are actually going to curate it. So they reckon people are going to curate it. So it's just interesting to find and then have it know where to go to. And I haven't heard anyone else talk about it.
No, I haven't heard, and haven't heard mentioned as to what the workflow and mechanism is for people maintaining that. So it could be exclusive.
It could be.
Okay, so we've probably covered off the main things, and maybe a bit of a short show tonight as we set our alarms, I guess, for
our update.
For tomorrow for our update, and get ready for the launch of iTunes, Apple Music Radio, iTunes Radio. That's the current one, isn't it?
Yes, and it's still going to be there too, apparently.
Yeah, is that complimentary as well?
Yeah, I believe so. It's going to stay up and running.
Wasn't the comment something like the different complimentary or the same but no? there was some sort of a bit of a oxymoron between the of statements between the two as to what the current services are with iTunes Match and Apple Music. I guess we'll know more tomorrow when we see it all working.
Yeah, so early morning for all. So I'll let everyone go back to bed now.
Well, at least if you get up early for the update, you can enjoy your leap second later in the day to catch up on some sleep.
Yes. So I think that's about it.
Okay, I think that does us, sir. So thank you, and thank you all for joining us. And we'll be back next week with some Apple Music news and maybe another exclusive. We'll catch you then.
Good luck.
See you.